back to another episode of the What We Gonna Do podcast. I am your host, AJ. Always good to be back. You know what I mean? I switched it up every once in a blue moon, but I know, I kind of say the same thing every time. It don't even matter because it's always good to be back. I'm going to give y'all my socials. I know y'all already know them, but, for the new folks out there, you can find me at What We Gon' Do Pod. That's GONE on Instagram and Twitter. Email me, whatwegonado@gmail.com. Please check out the premium podcast playlist exclusively on Podbean by yours truly. I got 3 episodes out now. I got some more stuff coming. I'm telling y'all, if y'all go get it, y'all go check it out, y'all support. I got some more shit coming for y'all. Trust me. I got some exclusive stuff that's going to be coming. And I got some stuff that's just going to be for everybody or whatever. And I got some super duper exclusive stuff for my OnlyFans out there. You know what I mean? I know I don't have none right now, but I'm trying to get me some OnlyFans. I seen a picture or something like, I don't even remember where I seen it, but I seen a picture that said fall and winter pretty much are coming at the same time. I went to the Pod Excellence weekend. I know y'all been seeing me talk about it, and I recently posted some pictures or whatever, but I went to the Pod Excellence weekend, and I'm looking at the weather, and I'm just trying to see, you know what I mean? The weather kind of changed a little bit, you know what I mean? You kind of feel a little it did get a little cool, did kind of change a little bit, especially outside and just over the weekend or whatever. And I was like, oh, shit. And so when I get back here, and it was a dope event, let me just say that it was a dope event. Y'all heard me talk about it. I would support it. I would recommend it. Shout out to Nick. She doing it again, 2020, Miami. That's the destination. And I'm telling y'all, it is worth it. You know what I mean? It is a hell of an experience. And I mean, she really did her thing with it. You know what I mean? Just organizing it and putting it together. So I get back out here to Dallas, and I live outside of Dallas or whatever. I live in Garland, and I get back out here, and I'm like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? You look at the weather, and you kind of see, all right, high, like my shit was saying, like high 80s, 90s, crazy. I'm like, man, this is gonna be a weird type of like fall or whatever, and then that shit just dropped, like it just cut, and I'm waking up in the morning. And the shit is like 46 degrees, but it feels like 42. And it's supposed to get up to 77 or it's supposed to get up to 88. Like a whole bunch of crazy ass weather, which, I was talking to somebody because I had to go, I had to go do something for work or whatever. And I was talking to somebody in the office about global warming. And yes, y'all hear me talk about a whole bunch of stuff, but I'm talking to them about global warming just as far as shit has changed so much just within the past, really like 10 years, you know what I mean? And this woman was way older than me. So she seen way more than me. And she was like, I ain't never seen no stuff like this before. And I'm like, man, look, it's crazy. If y'all been on social media, y'all seen some of the stuff that's going on around the world and just like, man, it's some wild stuff going on. So anyway, this weather is kind of tripped out. You know what I mean? It's like hot and cold at the same damn time. You know what I mean? I wonder, I ain't gonna put that future in here, but y'all just keep that in y'all head. So this past weekend, 9 tornadoes touched down. 9. And I was actually out of town when this shit happened. So the shit kind of tripped me out because my wife and daughter had to deal with it and I was not here. And one actually landed in Garland in my city or whatever. But thankfully, my family was all right and our friends, just other people kind of around were all right. But some areas definitely got hit. But listen to that again. 9 tornadoes hit. I thought it was only 2 or 3. The what is it? Like the weather service or whoever like confirmed that there were 9. And I was like, yo, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Oklahoma is Tornado Alley. Even Arkansas would get a lot of tornadoes. Maybe Tennessee, something like that. But Texas is a little bit different. You know what I mean? Texas might get shit, but it's not as much as all these other little places. And even Arkansas got one little tornado, which was kind of tripped out too over the weekend. But it messed me up. I ain't even gonna go through the whole story. If y'all want to hear the whole story, y'all can hit me up on social media or whatever, man. But I was up like just going back and forth with my wife till about 1 in the morning, and just like that shit was crazy. So anyway, I ain't even gonna call that a recap, but just some stuff that was kind of on my mind. Before we get into the show, look, y'all saw the title, y'all know what it is. But instead of me playing like snippets, of the album, if you got a Google Home, Sonos, Alexa, etc., play the album in the background, just low enough to hear me clearly. I probably should have said that at the beginning because I don't know exactly how long this is going to be. So listen, you can just start playing that album and just let it go throughout, you know what I mean? And just finish it up or whatever. Wow, that's crazy. That's the album. If y'all don't know what the hell I'm talking about, I don't even know how y'all listening to this because that is specifically what this episode is about. I'm talking music today. I haven't done it in a while, so I wanted to do it. Before we jump into talking about the album, when I thought about doing this the other day, I said, shit, I might as well, drop my top 5 albums of the year so far. You know what I mean? I might as well just talk some music shit if I'm going to talk some music shit or whatever. And look, if you are expecting what I did on Damn, if y'all ain't heard Damn, don't worry about it. But for those of you who did hear me talk about Damn and go through it track by track and do all of that type of stuff, this ain't that. I'm tell you that right now. This ain't that. So however long this is, that's however long it is, and that's gonna be the end of it or whatever. All right, let's get to this. You know what I mean? First, I got Nas, The Lost Tapes 2. This is the best Nas album I've heard in years. I know it's gonna trip some of y'all out, but I'm serious. This is the best Nas album I heard in years. I bought the N album, which was the first of 2 like Nas albums that I ever even got. The second being like a bootleg version of Life is Good, which was a disappointing project. Don't even check that out or whatever. I wouldn't even recommend y'all listening to that. And of course, I'm not gonna go into my whole background with Nas or anything like that, but I've listened to Nas over the years. Illmatic is my favorite album from him. You know what I mean? And anyway, I'm not even going to go into a whole Nas thing, but that's my favorite album for him. So going into this Lost Tapes 2, you hear about it. He's doing a little bit of promo. It's just a little bit different feel. He got this mass appeal shit going on. Like, he really on his entrepreneurial stuff. You know what I mean? But I was like, okay, cool. He putting out a little project. I checked this shit out. And I'm like, yo, it pissed me off because I think I probably listened to every Nas album. And his catalog is not very good in my opinion. That's my opinion. It is what like his catalog is not very good once you get past those first couple of albums. So anyway, I checked this out and I'm like, yo, this is the shit I've been looking for, man. Where has this nigga been? Like, where has this type of rapping been? I don't know. I feel like this is the best Nas album I have heard in years. And these is loose songs that he put together that he recorded over various periods of time or whatever, you know what I mean? I've seen different interviews where he kind of talked about it or whatever, but this shit was fire. He even said he got enough stuff for a Lost Tapes 3 and a Lost Tapes 4. So, I don't know. The expectations are high, for me at least, because it's like, yo, if he got more shit like this that he hasn't put out, I'm pissed. You know what I mean? Because this is exactly what I've been looking for. I want to say a couple more things about this. And when I do this, I'm actually kind of talk about, these whatever albums. And I'm going to actually talk about some standout tracks. And I'm going to actually say a few things about the albums. I never want to hear Scat Attack again. Now, he still rapped his ass off. And it's better than trash rap, but it's like an ode to hip hop or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, like, it's annoying as shit, but he is saying something, but it's like, man, don't do that again. You know what I mean? I don't even know where he got the inspiration for that, but I definitely was not feeling that. My standout tracks are Who Are You? Highly Favored, It Never Ends, You Mean the World to Me. Go check those out. Go check the whole project out or whatever. But those are my standout tracks. So if y'all want to make a note of them, don't make a note of them. Rewind this back and make a note of them. Second, we got Rhapsody, Eve. This year, I feel like this is the best album completely, top to bottom. Now that Lost Tapes 2 is hard. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a compilation, in my opinion, or whatever, but that shit is hard. That's his best project in years to me, but this is the best album of the year completely. The whole aesthetic, the rapping, the production. I think I had a whole conversation with Ralph, the mind of Ralph from Overset the Podcast. And, he was, kind of looking or expecting maybe a little something different or whatever. But this shit right here, I listened to it, I was like, yo, this shit fire. I can see I feel like she did something that not even Kendrick has done. You know what I mean? Somebody on YouTube, we went back and forth because they said, why I gotta down Kendrick. And I was like, I'm not downing what Kendrick has done. What I'm saying is this is something different. You know what I mean? Because both are extremely talented. Both are like into their craft, like they serious about it or whatever. But what she did from her last album, I don't know why I had the name in my head and I forgot it right now. From her last album to this one is like leaps and bounds. You know what I mean? Like really, and I mean, she talk her shit like she bragged, just saying like, look, whoever y'all want to put up there as far as MCs, I'm up there. You know what I mean? Like I'm on the board. Whatever y'all want to say, I'm on the fucking board. And this album is dope. Standout tracks for me, Cleo and Oprah. You know what I mean? The whole album, top to bottom, is dope. But those are just kind of two for me. That Cleo is just, and it was light. It was an attack, but it was light. You know what I mean? Like it was playful, but it was serious, and just the beat and just, you know what I mean? What Knife Wonder did with this whole thing or whatever, I thought was dope. Third, Wow, That's Crazy, which I think is Wale's best album since Tan. And then, obviously I would put Ambition in there. That was probably like my top 3 Wale albums or whatever, you know what I mean? But we're going to get into this later. And I'm not even going to talk about Tan and Ambition necessarily. I might touch on Tan a little bit, but we're going to talk more about that. So I got this album up there. Yes, I know the album just came out. I got it up there. You know what I mean? I think Wale did his thing on this one. Fourth is Chasing Summer by Sir. TDE represent. I went to the championships tour last year. This dude tore it down. I recommend anybody to go see Sir live. That made me go back and listen to the project, but his first project doesn't necessarily do his voice service. You have to hear him live. I promise he's probably better live than he is on his projects. Now, this project is fire. Like, I really do put this project up there. I feel like it's the best R&B album out, period. I'm good on Summer Walker shit. Yeah, listen to it. I'm good on that or whatever. To me, Chasing Summer is it, all right? Standout tracks, Hair Down, John Redcorn. That John Redcorn is a trip. Like, when you just listen to the words, when y'all listen to it, some of y'all can relate. You know what I mean? That's all I'm going to say. That's why I love you. You know what I mean? My wife say, I ain't about that life. She say, I wish I could get back to that life or something like that. It ain't even about me getting back to a certain type of life. It's just a hard song. You know what I mean? Like if y'all ain't listen to that, when y'all listen to it, y'all gonna know what the hell I'm talking about. But that song's just hard. Just when you put that energy out there or whatever, that's what it is. Fifth. Now, this might mess y'all up a little bit, but I got For Real by YG. I think it's the best YG album. Man, look, we done seen the growth from My Crazy Life and Still Brazy. Skip Stay Dangerous. Just skip over that shit. To me, this one is his. Before Eve came, I really did have For Real with a Grammy nomination. I still do. You know what I mean? But that Eve, I don't know if anybody fucking with Eve, but that For Real is his best project. I like what he did top to bottom. The messages in it, what he talking about. My standout tracks are Stop Snitching, Heart to Heart, and Do Not Disturb. That I want to say what? That Do Not Disturb with Kamaya and G-Eazy. Ooh. That shit crazy. That shit go dumb. All right. Sixth, and I don't even know if I should call it this sixth, Dreamville, Revenge of the Dreamers 3. I don't even know if I should count this because it's like a, you know what I mean? It's like some DJ. But then I got to thinking, I was like, well, shit, DJ Khaled was nominated for a Grammy or whatever. Why can't Revenge of the Dreamers 3 be in there? So I think that might be in there, you know what I mean? Just off the strength of the project or whatever. I mean, it is like a collaborative album or whatever. It's not, an actual just individual artist. But what they did on that, because I even, what was it? The Black Panther soundtrack. You know what I mean? I want to say what that was nominated for a Grammy or some of them songs. So I'm like, all right, if the Black Panther soundtrack can get this, okay, I'm putting Revenge of the Dreamers in that space, even though it's a different thing on its own or whatever. And even though obviously J. Cole is heavily involved, it's his imprint, it's his brand or whatever. So I'm putting it in there. So anyway, I think it's JID's album. All right, JID was the standout. You know what I mean? If y'all listen to this shit, I was just like, yo, this should just be Revenge of the Dreamers 3 featuring JID. Something like that. I don't know. But I'm like, this is definitely, he was all over this. And I really want to know, like, what songs didn't make it, what songs from here are ending up on other albums, what verses didn't get recorded. That was another little funny thing, Wale just talking about, and I think it was on the Crown interview, that he was talking about. He was at the Dreamville sessions and, that he got some inspiration from that. Because that's one thing I put out there on Twitter. I was like, yo, Wale should have been at the Dreamville shit. I know he would have, he would have been perfect on some of those songs. So to find out that he was there, it definitely makes me question, like, whoa, like, where the music at? You know what I mean? There's so much stuff going on, but I'm still like, okay, where is the music at, man? Why wasn't Wale on none of them damn songs, man? Them songs was right up his alley. If y'all listen to him, y'all can hear where Wale would have fit, would have fit good. And some of the songs, man, they cut out. That Dreamville shit was a trip, you know what I mean? Just watching that documentary and just like, it's a dope thing, dope concept. It's like, man, I don't know how people record it. I don't know how the producers got beats in and just, I don't know how they made that shit happen or whatever. I don't know how people even got verses or whatever, but that shit was wild. You know what I mean? That might as well be a tour all on its own. You know what I mean? Just if you put all them people together and you got debate, just different people, man, T.I., whoever, you put all them people from that on a tour, let them do their solo stuff and they do their Revenge of the Dreamer shit. That'll be crazy. Standout tracks, Wells Fargo. It's a pretty funny song. Costa Rica in 1993. I got a few honorable mentions, and I won't go into these as much as I did the other albums, but honorable mentions. Her Story in the Making. Y'all know who that is. Young M.A. I was impressed. You know what I mean? I was impressed. I was surprised. I thought, just her growth, her development, what she did. Like, you can see, I don't have the baby on here or whatever. I don't have Kirk on here. But you have these different artists. And obviously, she's been out longer than the baby, but I'm using him as an example as far as like, you have to allow these artists to grow, even Megan Thee Stallion. And so with Young M.A, you get to see the growth. You know what I mean? She still has room to improve or whatever, but you get to see like, okay, like damn, she getting better. So that Her Story in the Making is official. Standout tracks, RNID, Bleed, and Big. Big was the one that actually put me onto it or whatever. I was on YouTube one day. I saw the video. I checked it out. I was like, oh, okay. So that actually made me go back and say, let me go ahead and check out the album. Everything's for Sale by Boogie is a dope ass debut. So it came out earlier in the year. So y'all probably have forgot about it by now. But I remember Boogie from a video where he was rapping and he had like the blood and he had been shot and all that type of stuff or whatever. And, like it was real, like visual or whatever. And I think even Jordan Lucas kind of took from that and he kind of worked that in, you know what I mean, to I'm Not Racist. And, like he kind of seemed like, he worked that into some of his stuff, whatever, you know what I mean? He may have gotten inspired by it, but Boogie kind of had that shit first where it was like, wasn't nobody really checking for Boogie. At least to my knowledge, he wasn't really on nobody's radar like that. He did that video, which was kind of like, you see all the different stuff to get people attention, and you know what I mean. People doing all kind of stuff online right now for clout. And so when I saw that, I was like, okay, I see what he doing. You know what I mean? Getting people to watch the video and shit like that. It's kind of like, what is it? Like an attention grabber or whatever. It's something to talk about. But then you hear him rapping. It's like, oh, okay, he can rap. I didn't think it was really going to go too much from there. Fast forward, he get hooked up with Eminem. I don't even know how he gets on Eminem's radar, but he get on Eminem's radar. He gets signed to Shady. He puts out this fucking project. And I mean, he don't sound like a new artist with a debut. He sound like he done did this before. You know what I mean? Like, this don't sound like a debut album or whatever. Really dope. Like I say, these are honorable mentions, but that album is like an underdog story. It's barred up. You know what I mean? He's spitting pretty much on every track. Standout tracks, LOL, SMH, Interlude, and Rainy Days. Y'all have heard me talk about Rainy Days on social media or whatever, but those is my two standout tracks. All right. Now we're going to get into the meat and potatoes. You know what I mean? Finna talk about the album. Wow, that's crazy. Even that title is funny. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to take too much from that title. Like, and I'm going to kind of break it down. But just off hearing that, it was like, it fit Wale, but I figured he was trolling. I'm going to circle back on that. Let me just say that. So, so for those of you who've not been on the internet, there's an artist named Banksy who doesn't want his art to be worth anything. So last year, there's an auction on one of his pieces. So the piece sells, and shortly after the piece sells, it starts to shred or whatever. But it stops halfway through due to a malfunction. That's a short version of the shit, all right? It was supposed to actually shred all the way. It didn't shred all the way. That shit was crazy. Now, if you're wondering, okay, what the hell is he talking about? Why is he talking about it? That is because it's the inspiration for the artwork on the album. I don't know if y'all have checked out the artwork yet. I don't know if y'all have listened to it yet. I definitely recommend you listen to it. Again, I told you to play it while you're going through this or whatever, but I would definitely say, look, stop, listen to it, then come back to this or whatever. You know what I mean? Because this was just my raw kind of reaction and how I'm feeling. Like I say, it's not a track-by-track breakdown and analysis. I want y'all to just check it out and tell me how you feel, and maybe your feelings align with mine. So anyway, I see the artwork. I was like, okay, that's dope. You know what I mean? This creative artwork is dope. It's eye-catching, all that good shit or whatever. When I first heard Wale was going to put out a new project and name it Wow, That's Crazy, I just took it as the nigga was trolling. I didn't take him serious. I didn't really think he was going to, I didn't know if he was going to really name it that. I didn't know exactly what it meant. I didn't know what he was going to do with it or whatever. It wasn't until I saw the promo video on IG or whatever. The promo video was dope. I'll be honest, I thought there was going to be more episodes, but it looked like that's going to be the only one or whatever. I wanted to see more. Like, I thought he was going to do a whole little thing about it, but, I get it. Like, that video, again, it was a talking point. People, it got people like, okay, I kind of see what he's talking about or whatever, but that was kind of that, that launching point. You know what I mean? I wasn't going to do any reviews this year. I wasn't going to do no reviews on that. Again, I kind of gave y'all my top albums of the year so far. I wasn't going to do no reviews because nothing really jumped out at me to where I wanted to sit there and I wanted to actually review it like I did with Damn. Because I could have done that on Damn and 444. I know Jay added some more songs. They remixed it and, did some other stuff with that or whatever. But I could have did it on both of them. The reason why I picked Damn at the time, and again, I know we talking wild, that's crazy, but at the time I was like, all right, when I'm looking at both of these, like, it's like, I felt like Damn was something for right now. 444 was something for the future. You know what I mean? That it's going to last longer than Damn. Like, Damn is you're going to play it, and then you probably ain't going to, like, after a year, 2 years, it's kind of going to be just encapsulated because it's reflective of a certain time and a certain energy or whatever. But that 444 is gonna be here, in my mind, 10 years from now. So I feel like I can always come back and do a 444, conversation or podcast episode, because I feel like that album is gonna stand up as far as the test of time, because it's got too many messages in it. You know what I mean? It's got too much game that it's trying to give you, which is different than Damn. You know what I mean? Damn grabs you. And anyway, I did a whole thing on Damn. So if y'all want to go check out my thoughts on Damn, go check that episode out. So this caught me. You know what I mean? Like, this caught me. This like influenced me to say, okay, I'm gonna do a review on this. And this is just like after the first listen. I was like, wow. You know what I mean? I didn't say that's crazy, but I was definitely surprised. I know that I think the last album was Shine. And I know Wale talked about it just being hurt, that it didn't do as good as he thought. And he kind of broke it down, which is tripped out. He said, man, if you had a job and you get an increase, you get an increase, you get an increase. And he said 1 year you get a demotion and you go down. He's like, that'll fuck you up. You know what I mean? He's like, think about if you get to making 121,000 and whatever, and then next year you come back and you doing 23,000, you're gonna be like, whoa, like, you know what I mean? And he even felt like it didn't get the, and again, I know, man, when it comes to his daughter and just, I know that was a real personal album for him, and it was a good album. Like, he was in a good space to even make that album. So I can definitely feel that, but this is definitely different than that. And I feel like it is kind of like, again, I put this up like, because I like Summers on Sunset, and that was like a mixtape or whatever. But when I heard he was doing Shine, I was like, I don't know about this, because he was just going in a whole different direction. But again, man, he just had his daughter. He was in a different kind of space or whatever. But it just didn't connect. You know what I mean? So when he came back with this, I was apprehensive. I wasn't gonna check it out. I didn't know exactly what he was gonna do or whatever. But he surprised me or whatever with this one. So I had to do a review. With streaming, we got new albums every week. It's hard to really sit with albums these days. Plus, I think just in 2019, a lot of dope albums have come out. I thought, like I mentioned before, that this album might be disappointing. You know what I mean? But when I looked at Wale's social media, he looked like he was in a good place. He was really enjoying the release this time, and he was still being social. So I was like, okay, let me go check this out, because it looked like he in a good space from what he's been in before. If y'all still got the album going, man, make sure if you got the album going, make sure you turn it down. Make sure you can hear me clearly. If you ain't got it going, turn the goddamn album on. You know what I mean? Like I say, your Google Home, whatever you need to do, put it in the background. Let it be the bed of this conversation that we're having today, that I'm having openly and in public with y'all. I checked out like some of his interviews, because, again, when I saw him on social media, I'm like, all right, man, let me go check some stuff out. So I checked out some of the interviews, and of course, I mentioned it earlier, he did Crown with Elliott Wilson, which I thought was dope. Elliott put out like a little clip of him talking about his child's mother or whatever. And so he kind of went into this whole thing, and I was like, oh, I got to check this out. So when the full thing hit, I got that title. You know what I mean? Shout out the title. I'm still trying to get that plug. You know what I mean? Elliott, you the chief. Holla at me. When I saw that, I was like, all right, I gotta check this out. Like I said, looking at those different interviews, he seems like he's in a good position with his music now. And he's done a bunch of stuff to brag about. He's talked about all the number ones, and that he's the best rapper, and he got the best rap album out right now, and all of this stuff. Like, he's in a good place. Funny enough, 2 Fridays ago, I saw Wale at a free concert out here in Dallas, thanks to Becky from Unspoken Words, which was dope. You know what I mean? I hope I got that right, Becky. I apologize. From Unspoken Words or whatever. And I was like, man, is this real? I'm going to check it out. So I started looking up some stuff, just checking, doing my Googles or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know about this. So I say, fuck it. I'm gonna go ahead and take the chance. Now, before I said fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead and take the chance. Wale confirmed it. And he sent out like one tweet saying, yeah, he gonna be there with him. I'm like, cool, fuck that. I can't take the chance of seeing Wale and missing that. So I went out, saw the free concert. It was dope. Most people was there for that. Then everybody ended up leaving or whatever. You know what I mean? He came on, did his thing. Like he came on, like the dude was trying to introduce me. He just jumped on the stage and shit like that or whatever. But it was a good little show. Anyway, so that was dope. Um, wow, that's crazy. Started strong. Like Wale was strong starting this album with Sue Me. And he finished just as strong with Pole Dance or whatever. You know what I mean? With Megan Thee Stallion. Sue Me, I think, has Kelly Price, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think it's Kelly Price or whatever. I should have made a note. But anyway, Sue Me got Kelly Price on it, whatever. So he just starting out kind of just like with a mood, but the song is dope and just how he rapping. You know what I mean? Like, and everybody kind of feeling it. They take, I ain't even gonna do it right now. Like I said, if y'all listen to, maybe skip to Sue Me or whatever. Maybe play Sue Me right now. Even though I'm finna move on, I ain't even, like I said, we're not doing a track by track analysis and breakdown, all that type of stuff. I don't know who was on there producing. I don't know who got writing credits. I don't know none of that. I ain't even looked it up. But listening to this album, I can hear that he did what everybody has been asking for years. So if y'all have been following Wale, I don't know if y'all have or haven't, but I did for a while. I had to quit following Wale just because of stuff he was doing online or whatever. But people have been asking Wale, give us another this, give us another that, give us. And so he's always gotten these requests from like each of his different audiences. You know what I mean? Because one audience wants this, one audience wants that, one audience wants this. Like most times people want an album just like this, or they want, again, they want to go back to more about nothing. They want to go back to old Wale, or they want to go back to this Wale, or they want like Third Eye Wale or whatever the case. This project, he gave everything. So he give us the MMG shit, the Third Eye shit, the club shit, Afro beats, radio hits. I feel like I hear 3 albums in one. I don't know about y'all, but that's how I feel like when you listen to it. I feel like I can hear like sonically like 3 different. And again, I know he recorded this over a certain period of time and shit. I think one song he said he had like from when Meek first got out or something like that, that he kind of just been sitting on or whatever. So I feel like I hear like 3 different projects that he kind of, put together in a dope ass way. The first 10 songs were strong. After that, to me, it turns into a playlist. Now, y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Listen to the first 10. And then when the 11 start, that's when it started deviating. 11 through, I think it's 14 total. 11 through 14. And so that's when I'm like, okay, the rest of this is just like filler. You know what I mean? Like the latter half is just kind of like filler. Which is wild just thinking about it because it made me feel like, damn, is it me or is it the project? Because it's like I hear it. Like I get to 10 and then I hear it. I hear like, you don't need anything past 10. Normally with rap these days, I ask for more songs, but I felt like this project could have had less and I would have been good. Now, when I say that, again, I think that this is his best since 10. And I think that he covered all of his bases. You know what I mean? I don't think he has a bad song on this album. And I don't give a fuck what you're talking about. Tan is a classic. I don't give a fuck what anybody talking about. Tan is a classic. This project, I like every song. You know what I mean? Now, some songs now, I know some people probably gonna kill me for this. BGM, I don't know. I just kind of got burnt out on BGM. I was like, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to necessarily hear it. But again, it's not a bad song. You know what I mean? I just have heard it so much or whatever, but it's not a bad song. It's another good song. That was another big song or whatever that he put out that resonated with people or whatever. I don't even think, again, we didn't even necessarily know he was gonna put out a project, and even if BGM was gonna make it on this project, but it fits, to an extent, it fits on this project. The production was clear, the quality was good. You hear so much with the mixes of these new artists that's rapping and mumbling. But with this album, you hear every word clearly. Now, y'all know, if y'all done seen my scales, if we done talked about music, I'm pretty hard when it comes to these damn scales. I give this album a 7 or 8. Probably an 8. Just off the first 10. You know what I mean? I think I'm going to give it an 8 or whatever. You know what I mean? I think it's a really dope album. And I know that's pretty high. So it's like I want to say 7, but I really want to say 8. I'm just going to say, fuck it. I'm going to give it an 8. It is what it is. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. I think everybody should check it out. I think if you were disappointed by Shine, you will not be disappointed by this. You know what I mean? Check it out. My top tracks. You know what I mean? My standout tracks. First, Expectations with 6 Lack. It's just a sunken feel. Like when you listen to it, like it's just a mood. Like it just kind of take you into the world of the song or whatever. On Chill, obviously, this is a radio song. It's got Jeremiah. I don't know how this nigga Jeremiah. It's like somehow this nigga cannot make a project to save his life. But I heard Wale talk about it. He talked about Jeremiah. He talked about Eric Bellinger and just some of the features he's been able to get over the years. And I don't know what it is, man. But Jeremiah, I mean, he does his thing or whatever. So Until is another one that's like a standout track. You know what I mean? I cannot deny that. Routine. So when he started doing interviews, I think Ebro was kind of the first one, at least that I heard it on, where Ebro just came out and asked me, he's like, hey, I heard you going to have this and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And of course, it's Meek and Ross. And Wale was like, yeah, he's like, hey, we here now. You know what I mean? Let's talk about it. He said he wanted it excluded from the track list so people didn't automatically go to that, which I got because think about it. That's how we look at music. You know what I mean? We look at the features and we like, oh, as soon as we get the album, I'm going to that song or whatever. But that song is not the album. That song does not make or break the album. It's a dope song. They doing their thing, but even Wale said, you know, this is like a Meek song. You know what I mean? This is one I kind of got from Meek. You know what I mean? He kind of handed this one off, and we worked it in or whatever. He said he got so many songs with Ross. He got so many songs with Meek, and he said, you know, MMG, you know, as far as like them three, they need their own solo thing or whatever. They ready to put out some more stuff. And I think what he say, Self-Made 4? I think he said, you know, people, you know, if they get enough, you know, they ready. But he said it's them three or whatever. So, so when you get to Routine, it's just, you know, it's a good song. And it's a rapping ass song. So when I talk about the rapping on this album, it's dope. But that is a song where I really had to listen a few times. I think it's like, I thought Meek had it. And then I was like, damn, hold up, Wale might got it. And then, you know what I mean? I'm like, Meek. So I kind of went back and forth with them. And of course, Ross do his thing too or whatever. But Meek and Wale is kind of like the standout verses on Routine or whatever. Pole Dancer with Megan Thee Stallion just makes me think back to No Hands. This was another thing when I talked about it earlier, just saying people are asking him for X, Y, and Z. So when I heard Pole Dancer, I said, oh shit, especially for it to end the album. You got Megan Thee Stallion, she like the hottest, and it's a dope ass song or whatever, but it made me think about No Hands because following Wale again, I've seen so many people asking him, can we get another No Hands? Can we get another No Hands? Hell, I heard so much about No Hands, I forgot it was Waka Flocka's song. Thought it was Wale's song or whatever. I mean, it is, but it ain't. And so when I seen he put that on, I said, okay, you know, here's Wale satisfying. I want to say with this project, he satisfied all of his audiences all at once, which is definitely tough to do without like sacrificing the quality of the album as a whole. Because that's how I look at albums now. Like I look at it as a complete body work. Like, does it sonically fit? Does it make sense? Top to bottom, the sequence. Like, you can have projects, you can have good albums, but to have a great album and just, you know, And this, I think, is really good, on the cusp of being great. But like I said, so that's my thought. I don't want to take anything away necessarily from this album. I think it's a dope ass album. But that pole dancer is just some club shit. It's hard, you know what I mean? She do her thing. I saw I got to do my random shit. I saw a video with Boosie rapping as Megan Thee Stallion. This nigga's a fucking fool. Boosie a fool. If y'all, he probably got it on his page. Make sure y'all go check out that video. That video is hilarious. I had to just do that for a second. Overall, like I say, man, I give this album a high rating. This album made me do a fucking review. I've listened to it several times at this point. I'm gonna keep listening to it. All those albums that I named, except for Dreamville, because I ain't got Dreamville on my list, but I can't sit here and deny how good that Return of the Dreamers 3 is. Like, I can't, you know what I mean? Or excuse me, Revenge of the Dreamers 3. Like, I can't sit there and just deny how good that is, even if I'm not necessarily listening to it anymore or whatever. But those other albums I am revisiting. This is it. Whatever else y'all was hoping for, I'm sorry, you're not gonna get it. That's my review. Wow, that's crazy. Y'all probably like, wow, that's crazy. Like, that's what you're gonna do. That's it. Hope y'all enjoying the album. Make sure you check it out. Make sure you stream it again or whatever. You know what I mean? Put them songs on repeat. Add some of them songs to your playlist. But I hope you playing it in the background right now. And I hope you finish playing it before you go out and enjoy your day or whatever the hell or enjoy your night, whenever the hell you listening to this. This is AJ. This is the What We Gonna Do podcast. Again, Instagram and Twitter at What We Gonna Do Pod. Check out the premium podcast playlist by yours truly. 3 episodes are out now. More shit to come, but I ain't gonna get into it. Just check them out. Go to podbean.com and search What We Gonna Do. You're gonna find it. You're gonna see the episodes. They premium. Yes, you got like a little one-time fee or whatever, but trust me, it's all secure. It's all done through Podbean. You can look up Podbean. It is one of the more established podcast hosts out there. It's been out there for a while or whatever. I've been having, I've had a good run with them. I'm going to stick with them for the foreseeable future. Customer service is always good, but I was like, all right, let me go ahead and start using some of this premium content. And so I got I thought about y'all. Like, I really did. I thought about y'all. And y'all can see it on my IG or whatever. But I thought about y'all. I came up with these playlists. These playlists are going to cover a variety of things. But it puts them all into one place. So you don't have to ask me, what episode should I listen to next? What episode should I? Go get one of the premium playlists and listen to that. That's going to get you where you need to be. That's going to catch you up. You can look at the different titles. You can look at the description, you know what I mean? The show notes, whatever you want to call it. And then figure out, okay, if this is one for me. Like I said, I got some more playlists coming. All right? I haven't actually said that verbatim, but I'm saying it on this one. I got some more playlists coming. But not only do I have playlists coming, all right, I'm not going to talk about that right now. This is AJ. I'm out. Until next time. Peace.